Hello. Oh man. So, got back to my shop. I'm in my office. Got me this little tripod thing set up so I can do videos here in the office until I get something set up outside. Uh, Actually, watching the La Palma video. That's live feed of it erupting. So I'm sitting here watching that. I got big ass arms. Huh. But now I was watching a friend of mine. He's going to be doing a fight with YouTube about demonetization because he talks about what's actually happened, climate science, and space. He actually owns spaceweather.com, and like he goes up against NASA all the time. And now YouTube is basically saying, if you talk anything about anything other than what they believe, then you're not allowed to get paid on their site. So yeah, this is becoming interesting. But he was saying how earlier today there was a 4.0 at La Palma, so I figured I'd check it out just for a few minutes, just kind of see what's going on. It's been erupting now for what, a week, 10 days, something like that. And the reason this is important, especially those on the East Coast, is in the Canary Islands and in this area, there are some very high wall cliffs with volcanoes at the top. And if for some reason one of them breaks and it goes into the ocean, there'll be a tsunami that hits the East Coast. And predictions are anywhere from 5-10 feet, which is still catastrophic to the beaches, up to 30 to 60 feet. So, but it's a good thing that it's erupting, because a lot of people, and it's amazing on how, like the news media loves for you to be in fear because of crime and violence, and they're constantly talking about people getting shot and how the world's ending and everything else. But when there's an actual real life thing going on, you don't ever hear about it. It's and earlier today I was doing some research. I was just beat up earlier in the video. I was so tired. So I went and took me a nap. Feel a little bit better. It wasn't an intentional nap. I just sat down at my mom's house with Domino, and it was raining and thundering, so I hung out with Domino because he does not like the thunder. So I figured I'd just chill out there for a minute, and ended up falling asleep on the couch. So, but I think I've come up with something good to start producing on this channel. I think I know where I want to go. As far as just putting out little tiny pieces of a big story, because there's no way I can make one video to explain everything that I've learned so far in this style, and my opinions on it, and that's all it is opinions. But I was working on a OBS system for the computer earlier today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it to where I can record myself like this. I'm going to get me something to block off my little food storage and some old windows and stuff, or old inserts for doors. But I'm going to get me a little setup to where you can see me and I can talk into a camera, but at the same time you'll be able to see my computer screen. So if you can imagine, like, okay, here's a computer screen of what I'm have on this computer, and then I'll be, where am I? Oh god, that's too close. Let me, it's hard to do, but like down over here there'll be a little box with me in it, and that way I can do a voiceover over what I see on the screen and kind of show you some things, as far as a lot of it's going to be I wonder if that's going to come up on the video. I just had an alert on my phone, so we'll see what happens. But what I want to do is talk about some connections, and I got a globe over there I've been working on, so I'm going to do some in-person things. But yeah, it's I wish I could actually sit down for a couple of days and speak with someone about all this, about everything, but it is so convoluted, it's so all over the place because you have to take bits and pieces and make connections. You know, I was sitting there, well, yeah, I don't really want to get into it right now, but I was doing research on angels, and you know, and just about every single, and I'm gonna use the term religion because anything that where you believe there's a god or deity, it's a religion, whether you want to call it paganism or, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know. But there's so many religions that have the one main god, and then they have an army of winged beings, and I'm not going to call them any, but they're winged beings. And I mean, it goes from Australia to South America to the, you know, Native Americans, even before they were around, you know, up into the Greek, Turkey, Egyptian, Chinese. You got the Mongol Empire. You have Scandinavian or their Norse gods. I mean, there's so many of these people, these religions, and they all have one thing in common. They have the main boss god, and then they have this army or group or collection of supernatural beings that can fly or have wings. So yeah, I'm thinking about, I don't really want to get into it right now, but I'm just kind of, you know, I just something I was kind of looking. I did maybe 15-20 minutes on just saying, okay, who has this, who has, and that's all I do. I go online and look it up, and that's kind of one of the things that, you know, I want to have it to where you guys can see what I'm researching, where it's getting from. And then, you know, like I hear or I see a lot of things, and that doesn't mean I believe it, but I make connections in my head, because, you know, you could sit here and talk about one thing, and in my head I'm connecting things of every other conversation I've ever had. And, you know, and I have a unique way of categorizing things in my head where I just don't forget it. You know, it's very difficult for, oh, my camera's over there. It's difficult for me to, you know, well, I won't say it's difficult for me to forget, because I do forget things, but when triggered, I can remember almost any point in my life. But I have to have a trigger to bring me back to that point, and then I can remember. Like, I've scared people on houses, on, you know, where customer calls me up, and yeah, in fact, the customer just called me today, and he was talking about windows in the garage. He's like, yeah, I have some Windows stuff I need done in the garage. I was like, we already did all your windows. He goes, yeah, not that house, another house that you haven't been to. You know, just, I remember, you know, just by him making a phone call, or you know, what color someone's cat was, or pictures hanging on the wall. And you know, there's a lot of houses that I can damn near drive back to that I haven't been to in 4 or 5 years, been there once, and I can drive right back there within a street or two of their house. I have that capability of keeping things in my head and categorizing them. You know, boy, this went a lot different than where I wanted to start off with. And that's another thing about my brain, is there's so much going on that I can just jump from one conversation to another and skip all over the place, but still keeping track, at least in my head. I don't know if it comes out that way. But tomorrow, the hell? Oh. Tomorrow, going out to the flea market, going to try to sell as much as possible. I need to come up with $1,000 this weekend, so that's my target goal. Pretty much all the money I made last weekend went to bills and everything else, and I'm doing pretty good, but I also have whatever it's going to cost to fix the Ford. So they should be finishing that any time now. He said he'd call me, and he's going to come pick me up once he test drive it, and hopefully it's good. If it's not, then oh well. As long as it's not worse, that's all that's matter. But he's going to change a fuel filter, do an oil change, and possibly change the spark plugs. The only part that scares me is he's like, oh, it you know, kind of like what I do with customers, I guess. He's like, oh, it'll be a good price, we'll figure it out later. And I was like, I hate doing that shit. I don't like having someone just figure out a price later. But this is just a little, basically a little trial run on this, you know, see if the air conditioner blowing on my camera, is that going to be interference. Testing out the setup, so this is kind of like a little trial run. But yeah, I'm working on the OBS program. I think that's going to be a good thing where I can show stuff on a screen, and then I can be like in a little picture in a picture, and kind of show some of the things that I'm talking about. And you know, I guess I got to learn how to do PowerPoint at some point too. So, oh, if you have heard anything about La Palma, just there's not really, I mean, yes, there is a real credible threat, because if the mountain does explode, if it does blow up and the mountain slides into the ocean, there's a very good possibility that a lot of area, including Florida, Miami, all up the East Coast, you know, it could be bad, really bad. But as long as it's erupting, as long as it's not getting a chance to build up pressure so it would explode. So all these minor eruptions and everything else, this is a good thing. This is not, you know, it's better that it's doing what it's doing than capping itself off, building up pressure to where there's a catastrophic explosion. And that's the difference. You may have heard of Krakatoa, the one that, you know, just huge tsunamis all over the place and everything else. You know, that was where the top, it erupted a little bit, and basically the top capped itself, and it built up pressure until it actually exploded. I mean, there's already been like 2 or 3 pretty significant eruptions just while I've been watching, to where you know, in fact, I'll even turn the volume up. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that's not even loud, but that's what a volcano sounds like. And every so often you'll hear, you know, a crack or a boom, or, you know, a small explosion where it lights up and whole screen brightens up. So, oh, and I think my other glasses are in. I'm gonna wait till Monday to go get it. I'm gonna drive around, do a lot of stuff on Monday. I gotta go pick up some displays that one of the stores is gonna give me. That's the one where bought like 7 bags of stuff for like $1 and $2 a piece. I think I spent like $120, like 7 bags of clothes and shoes. In fact, yeah, I'm taking off my shoe. Yeah, I got these here, the lugs. These shoes, they're a little dirty, but yeah, they're lug shoes. Got them for like $5. So I got all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, I just kind of wanted, I'm awake now. I felt kind of bad to post, oh, I accidentally deleted a video, so I'm re-uploading that, so you don't have to worry about that one. But anyways, I think that's it for now. Peace, love, money, I'm out.